In the end, Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Davis wasn't just a fight. It was a collision of eras, old-school grit versus modern fame. It was about respect, redemption, and the raw beauty of combat. Because boxing isn't about who shouts the loudest, it's about who stands when the shouting stops. And on that night, Gervonta Davis stood tall. Unshaken. Unmatched. The fight that began as a spectacle, ended as a statement. A statement that echoed through every corner of the boxing world. Respect the sport. Respect the grind. Respect the ones who live for this. This was Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Davis, the fight that shook boxing. A story of power, pride, and legacy. Because in boxing, legends aren't made online, they're made under the lights. In the post-fight interviews, Jake Paul admits, "This sport is real. Tank is real." He earns respect, not just for fighting, but for daring to face the impossible. Gervonta Davis, meanwhile, cements his legacy. He doesn't gloat. He doesn't brag. He simply states, "I told you, I'm different." In the days that followed, the internet exploded. Clips, reactions, debates, everyone had an opinion. Was Jake Paul brave or foolish? Was Tank Davis unbeatable? But beyond the noise, one truth remained. Both men changed the game in their own way. Jake Paul brought millions of new eyes to boxing. He made fans care again. And he proved that heart, when tested, beats fame every time. Gervonta Davis reminded the world that real fighters still rule this sport. That talent, skill, and discipline can't be manufactured. He showed what happens when hype meets heritage, and only one survives. Round 1, Jake comes forward aggressively, throwing heavy jabs and overhands. Tank studies. He moves, he measures, he waits. A game of patience and pride begins. Round 2, Tank finds his rhythm. Jake lands a right hand that shakes the crowd. But Tank smiles, a dangerous smile. He's seen enough. By round 3, Tank's timing takes over. Every mistake Jake makes, Tank punishes. Every inch of distance, Tank closes. And then, the punch. A left uppercut so clean, so violent, it silenced the entire arena. Jake Paul hits the canvas. The dream meets reality. The referee counts. Jake struggles to rise. He shows heart, courage, but the damage is done. The referee waves it off. Tank Davis walks away victorious, another name, another knockout, another reminder of why he's called Tank. He wasn't training to prove a point, he was training to end an illusion. As fight night drew closer, the world split in two. Half believed in the underdog story, Jake Paul shocking the world. Half believed in destruction, Gervonta Davis teaching a lesson in violence. Analysts debated endlessly. Could Jake's size and power overwhelm Tank? Could Tank's speed and skill expose Jake? No one knew for sure. But everyone knew one thing, this was bigger than boxing. Under the bright lights of Las Vegas, the arena was electric. Cameras flashed. Celebrities filled the front rows, the world held its breath. As Jake Paul made his walk to the ring, confidence oozed from every step. The crowd booed and cheered in equal measure, he was used to it. Then came Gervonta Davis, calm, quiet, and deadly. His eyes locked straight ahead. No distractions. No emotion. Just mission. The bell rang, and history began. And forged into one of the most explosive punchers the sport has ever seen. His left hand, legendary. His aggression, unmatched. His focus, cold and unforgiving. When these two names collided, fans called it madness. But in boxing, madness sells. And this was the biggest spectacle of them all. The press conferences were pure chaos. Two men from opposite worlds, one born in the gym, the other built online, trading words like punches. Jake Paul promised shock and history. Tank Davis promised destruction. Every stare down was filled with venom. Every word was a spark to ignite the fire. Behind the cameras, though, both men trained like never before. Jake's camp went to war, endless rounds of sparring, brutal conditioning, and military-level focus. He knew that this wasn't just another influencer fight. This was legacy. Tank Davis, meanwhile, looked sharper than ever. His movement, precise. His timing, deadly. In the chaotic world of boxing, there are moments that redefine the sport, moments that shatter expectations, silence critics, and create legends. And in recent times, no event has captured the world's attention quite like this. Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Tank Davis. What began as a social media fantasy, soon became the fight that the entire boxing world couldn't stop talking about. A YouTuber turned prizefighter, against one of the most feared knockout artists in modern boxing. This wasn't just a clash of fists, it was a clash of worlds. Jake Paul, the self-made entertainer turned fighter, a man who built his empire from controversy, fame, and fearless ambition. From viral videos to knockout victories, he transformed from an internet sensation into a genuine contender. But no matter how hard he punched, one question always lingered. Is Jake Paul really a boxer? On the other side stood Gervonta Davis. A product of the streets of Baltimore. Molded by hardship. Refined by pain.